Okay. Let's be sure how many of us are online already. Okay. Good evening to my very great Forever Living Products FBOs, both home and abroad. It's yet another opportunity to come to you with our policy training. And as always, it's always my pleasure. It's always my pleasure. Um, my name is John Edache, and I'm going to be anchoring this training. We'll be talking about the FFP company policy. We'll just be delving into some definitions and terms in the Forever Living products. And this is how I want us to begin the training this evening. Now, those of you who are online, I want you to look at the picture on my screen and then go to the chat room and then type what you think that picture is. What do you see? Just quickly type what you can see in that picture. That's where I want us to begin from. Quickly, I just want a few persons. Yes, good evening. Just quickly type in the chat room what you see in that picture, the picture on your screen. I need quick response from 2 or 3 persons, and then we'll go on. There's an image on your screen right now. Okay, someone said I'm not audible at all. Okay. Oh, really? Okay. The person that say I'm not audible, can you hear me clearly now? Please. Okay. Casey, can you confirm that I'm loud and clear now? That my audio is loud and clear. All right, great. Thank you. Okay. Yes, yes. I see meditating man on a prayer, a man on his knee meditating, but seems to be handcuffed Another person says a man praying. Thank you so much for the response. I love the responses. Okay, what do you see in this one? So that I don't waste your time, it's the same picture. Earlier on, the picture looked like a man praying. Now this is the same picture. Immediately somebody says stones inside a flowing river. Stones inside the flowing river. So yes, what you saw initially were stones inside the flowing river. But on the basis of assumption, you thought it was a man praying inside a flowing river. Now this is the same picture. Nothing different. But as you look closer, as we zoomed in, we have a clearer picture of what it is now, that it has nothing, there is no human being anywhere in sight at all. At all, at all. These are just stones, dead stones inside a flowing river. But if I had stopped at just the first picture, yeah, I'm sure you would have assumed, note the word assume, you would have assumed that it was a man praying inside the river. Now, training is just us. Go back to look at things for our policy terms that we assumed all the while that we know what they mean. But you see, in just the last 6 months or so, in the course of our incentives, various promos that we have run in at least the past 6 months or so, personally, I have discovered that there are a number of terms that we use in the course of our forever business every day. As a matter of fact, every day that we only thought we know exactly what they mean. We just assumed that we know exactly what they mean. I also assume that you know exactly what they mean. But the reality proved otherwise. That's the approach to this evening's company policy training. It's not going to be a lengthy one, very short, but we deliberately highlighted terms that you use in your everyday business, and we have all assumed that we know what they mean, but reality has proved otherwise. So that's why if you don't move away from assumption, some of these terms we look, I mean, is this what we are going to be doing this evening? The first thing we want to look at is preferred customer profit. What is preferred customer profit? What is preferred customer profit? We've been hearing of it. We are not sure what it means. And just to prepare your mind, while this meeting is a very brief one, I purposely highlighted each of the terminologies we are going to be revisiting in this policy training. And I handpicked them on the basis of the fact that within the last 6 to 7 months, one FBO or the other has fallen short of one qualification or had one issue, some very painful, some mild, over one of these terminologies. Every one of them that we are going to be addressing this evening has one of such cases. So preferred customer profit is 25% of the suggested retail price of purchases made by a preferred customer, which is paid to the sponsoring FBO until the preferred customer has purchased a Start Your Journey pack or product equaling 2 case credit within any 2 consecutive month period. So preferred customer profit is not bonus. Just like the word, preferred customer profit is profit. So I give you an example. If I sign Collins up in this month of March, with 0.5 case credits, and I am a manager, I'm going to earn 18% as bonus on whatever the 0.5 case credit worth of products that Collins purchased. But that will not be all. Because Collins is below assistant supervisor, which makes him a preferred customer, I'm going to also be paid 25% profit on what he purchased. On what he purchased. While I'm earning 18% as bonus on what he purchased, I will also earn 25% of the suggested retail price of what he purchased as profit. That's what preferred customer profit is. Now, if I was an assistant manager, I will earn 13% as bonus. If I was a supervisor, I'll earn 8%. If I was an assistant supervisor and I meet the requirement, I'll earn 5%. But whether I was a manager, assistant manager, supervisor, or assistant supervisor, profit, the percentage of profit earned remains the same. Whatever level you are, the percentage profit for a preferred customer activity remains 25%. Unlike bonus that varies depending on your level. So that's what that is. We go to the next one. Responsored FBO. A responsored FBO is an FBO who already has an ID on the Forever system. The person already has an ID on the Forever system. That means the person has sponsored into the system already. But somehow the person has been inactive for, if assistant supervisor and above, the person has been inactive, and inactive means has not made any purchase, nor signed up anybody on the Forever system for at least 12 consecutive months. Now, if that person elects to change sponsor, the person will put up an application to change from one particular sponsor to another one since he meets the eligibility, and Forever will move that person from upline A to upline B with the same ID, not a new ID, with the same ID. That is what it means for an FBO to be responsored. Now note that the implication of responsorship is that whatever level you have attained in the marketing plan, you lose that level. Even one. The second is that the system sees your date of responsorship the same way they see your setup date. That's the date you were sponsored into the business. The system sees your date of responsorship in the same way. Number 3, if you had garnered some downlines before the responsorship, the moment you respond, the fourth thing is that because the policy on single distributorship was not always there. Before now, husband and wife could sign up as one distributorship. So we have a number of persons on our system who are still double distributors. If you are existing on the system as a double distributor, the moment you responsor, the secondary distributor does not come back. You become a single distributorship on the system. That's what a sponsored FBO is. That's what a responsored FBO is. It's incentives that forever says sponsored FBO can also count for that. So that's about responsored FBO. Next is a retail customer. Now, a retail customer who do your retails offline, shop buys from you at the retail cost and consumes, is a retail customer. Now, the electronic version of it is that Forever has designed its system now such that if you have a back office, if you have a FP360 and all of that, you can have a retail customer who necessarily does not have to interface with you. Now, a retail customer does not have an FAP ID number of his own. He does not yet have an FAP ID number of his own. A retail customer shops, if electronically, using your own retail platform. Using your own retail platform. Now, when we discuss how to use the back office, how to use FAP360, the how of all of that now comes in. But what is important now is if you are in Nigeria here and somebody in Australia gets your retail link and goes to the system to shop, the case credit that accrues from that activity comes to you. That person that is doing that purchase on the system is called a retail customer. Again, it does not yet have an FAP ID of his own. So it's one who purchases FAP product through authorized channels. Your direct one-on-one contact with the person physically is an authorized channel. Your retail link on the system is another example of an authorized channel. So that's who a retail customer is. We go to the next one, active case credits. I'm going to carefully take time and break this down. Now, active case credit is like the fundamental of the Forever business. It's a very critical fundamental of the Forever business. But many times, FBOs have continued to enter into trouble with regards to understanding exactly what active case credit means. We rolled out some incentives in the past few months, and I discovered some persons pursued the qualification aggressively and didn't qualify because of simply understanding the entirety of what this active case credit entails. Now, active case credit, broadly defined, is case credit as reflected by an FBO's accredited sales. But this case credit is generated from any or a combination of the following: personal case credit, distributor or preferred customer case credit, and retail case credit. These three components are from the three type of case sources from where you can get your active case credit. Now, of these three, one is compulsory, the personal case credit. Now, listen carefully. Personal case credit is the case credit that you generate from activity that happened with your personal FLP ID number. So, my name is John Edache. Any case credit I generate in the month of March, and it was not purchased with the ID number of John Edache is not personal case credit. However, it came to me. If it was not purchased with the ID number of John Edache, although it came to John Edache, it is not personal case credit. It must be with my personal name and ID for it to be considered personal case credit. Which is why retail case credit, remember, I deliberately, before this slide, defined for you who a retail customer and what a retail case credit means. Because a retail customer does not yet have an ID of his own, he simply went to the system using your link into which your ID has already been embedded to make a purchase. Whatever purchase that person made will count for you as retail case credit automatically in your ID. So it is considered personal case credit. It is considered personal case credit. Now there is a rule to personal case credit. For you to be considered active, to be considered for case credit active, you have to generate a minimum of one personal case credit. Now, the reason why we say generated from any or a combination is because if you made a purchase up to 4 case credits in your name, that's not ideal. The expectation is that you are supposed to retail. The expectation is that you are supposed to sign people up. But if for any reason in a particular month, you got held up by challenges here and there, and all you were able to do was 4 case credits or more in your personal name and ID, you are considered 4 case credits active. The other component is distributor or preferred customer case credit. Now, this is case credit that you generate in a particular month from a sponsored downline who is still a preferred customer. Before now, deliberately, we have also defined who a preferred customer is. We say it is that sponsored person who, that customer who has an ID on the system, who has been sponsored into the system, but has not yet generated up to 2 case credit in any 1 or 2 consecutive months. So if you signed up Thompson in February with 1 case credit, Thompson is a preferred customer downline of yours. In this month of March, if Thompson makes a purchase of another 1 case credit, that 1 case credit will count for you as part of your active case credit, as part of your 4cc. But listen carefully. Remember, in this example, I said in the month of February, Thompson signed up and purchased 1 case credit. If in the month of March, Thompson decides to buy 1.5 case credits, only 1 out of that 1.5 case credits will count for you, not as active CC, not the entire 1.5. While the entire 1.5 will count in your volume, only 1 will count as active case credit because he had 1 from last month already. The 1 will simply add to that of last month, becomes 2 case credits, and then anything beyond that is now FBO case credit, no longer preferred customer. So that's another component that forms part of your active case credit. The very important thing I need us to understand, the 2 very important takeaways from this active case credit is, if you are using CC from a downline who did not buy 2cc outright, It requires carefulness. There are cases where somebody already bought 0.8 case credit in the previous month, and in the new month bought 2 case credit, and you are still counting the entire 2 case credit as part of your active. No, 0.8 was purchased last month already. So all the person needed to complete 2cc was 1.2. So in this match, only 1.2 will count as active, while the rest is part of your entire volume. And then please remember that for a case credit to be called personal case credit, it must be case credit that has been purchased in your personal name and ID. About 2 or 3 different incentives, I think mainly 2 different incentives we rolled out between December and January. A number of persons have done everything they assumed was correct to qualify for those incentives, but they did not qualify just because they misunderstood what personal case credit means. So that you understand why these things may look elementary, but like we started this meeting, we do not want to assume. If I ended this meeting without showing you the next picture when we started this training, you are willing to swear that it was a picture of somebody kneeling down and reading. Meanwhile, there was no human being at all in that picture. That's how it is with this policy. That's how it is with these terminologies. We should not assume any of them at all. You either know it or you don't know it. And if you don't know it, please seek to know it, which is why we are doing this. Now, sponsor versus develop. Now, this came up very strong in one of our most recent incentives. Understanding what sponsor means versus what develop means. To sponsor means to get a person to sign up on the FAP system. It means to get somebody to sign up on the FAP system. That's what it means to sponsor. So the day you signed up and your name was put on the FAP system, that setup date is the date forever knows that you were sponsored. Now, when people sponsor a downline or you sponsor, the purchases they make differ understandably. Somebody can sponsor and be a preferred customer. Somebody can sponsor and become an assistant supervisor, as the case may be. But to develop is to help a sponsored downline work to achieve a move up. So let's use Thompson again. On the 15th of March, Thompson agreed to fill and sign the FAP form, and it was set up on the system. Thompson was sponsored on the 15th of March. Thompson made a purchase of 0.5 case credit. So Thompson is a preferred customer on the system. Now, if in this month of March, before the month ends, I have several meetings with Thompson, teaching what to do and all of that, it is possible for me to help develop Thompson to become, in fact, a supervisor. All of those build-ups for him to move from just a preferred customer is development. Let me apply this so that we get better understanding. Sometimes we roll out incentives and we say part of the qualification requirement is develop 2 supervisors. When you see just develop 2 supervisors, it means even if you had a name that you put on the system December last year, but maybe the person has not made any purchase, you can use that ID to pursue this qualification, because what is required of you is to develop the person to become supervisor. But where the requirement says sponsor, please note that the name must be somebody that was put in the system during the duration of that qualification. If it says sponsor, sometimes it will say sponsor and develop. Like in the case of Ego Manager, you will be told to sponsor and develop 3 supervisors. Ego Manager, for instance, starts every May and ends in April. 1st of May to 30th April, sorry. 1st of May to 30th April, the following month. So if you hear that the requirement says you should sponsor and develop 3 supervisors, then you had like 10 names that you put in the system January, but they have not even made purchase, and then you decide to go and use any of those names, it won't count. They were not sponsored between May and April. No. I'm hoping that we understand this difference, because it's very important. We specifically had a very painful case in one of our last local incentives, where somebody had done everything ordinarily to qualify even at the highest level. But simple understanding of these 2 terminologies was all that. And the way our system is designed, Forever is a very high-tech company. The way our system is designed, the algorithms are designed strictly based on the policy. So even if you sponsor the person a day before, so long as it does not fall within that space of duration for that incentive, the system won't pick the person. Next is open group case credit. Open group case credit is the type of case credit that you also call leadership case credit. That's where your leadership case credit comes from. Open group case credit of an FBO is an FBO's active case credit plus the case credit as reflected by the accredited sales of his or her downline FBOs who are not under a downline manager. Now, this applies when we talk about open business, it applies specifically to managers and above. If you are not yet a manager, if you are assistant supervisor and below, whatever case credit volume you generate fall automatically into open. Your business is still an open business. But if you are a manager and above, your open group case credit is case credit that came directly to you from downlines who are not yet manager. Note the word directly. Case credit that came to you directly from downlines who are not yet manager. All of those case credits are your open business. They are your open group case credits. For incentives like the chairman's bonus, that is a very critical case credit. So it includes every case credit that comes to you from downlines who are not yet managers. Leadership case credit. The leadership case credit is almost like a synonym for what we just defined now, the open group case credit. That's automatically a leadership case credit. Now, the only thing that requires a specific definition for leadership case credit is that you are required to, as a manager, to generate a minimum of 12 case credit, 12 of that type of open group case credit that we just discussed now, for you to be considered leadership active. Is the open group requirement, the open group case credit that a manager requires for him or her to be considered leadership qualified. What does it even mean to be leadership qualified? For you to be able to earn from your downlines who are already manager, you are expected to be leadership qualified. As a manager, you are considered a leader. So the company is simply saying, prove your leadership. Prove your leadership. So if you have a downline who is a manager, for you to earn from that downline, it goes beyond just being 4 case credit active. You must be leadership case credit active. And leadership case credit is the case credit that come to you from both your personal purchase and purchases or activities of downlines. They don't necessarily have to be downlines under you who are not yet managers. That's what leadership case credit is about. And statutorily, you are expected to generate 12. In this 12, remember we have talked about active already. You have minimum of 1 must be in your name. And then you must also be 4 case credit active. We have defined what 4 case credit activeness means. And then go beyond that to accruing more case credit that did not come from any manager and ensure that it is at least 12. Then you qualify to benefit from whatever happens under your downline managers. Note that leadership case credit does not include pass-through case credit. I'll define shortly what pass-through case credit is. Note that I kept repeating the word directly to you from non-manager, directly to you from non-manager. If my name is John and I am a manager and I have Jennifer as a direct downline who is a manager, then Jennifer now has a supervisor under her. Let's name the person Anthony. If Jennifer is not active in the month of March, through Jennifer and come to me. Now, Anthony's activity is a supervisor activity. And supervisor activity is a non-manager activity. But this activity has passed through a manager. For that reason, it cannot count as part of my open group case credit. It cannot count as part of my leadership case credit. Now, why statutorily you are required to generate a minimum of 12 case credit to be considered leadership active? If in a particular month you have 2 downline managers from different lines who each generate 25 case credits total. So let me say my name is direct manager. I have another manager called Agnes. In the month of March, Agnes had 30 case credit as her total. So she passed the 25 case credit mark. Jennifer had 26 case credit. She passed the 25 case credit mark. In the month of April, for me to be leadership active, I don't necessarily need to have up to 12 again. If I do 8, I am considered leadership active. If I do 8. Now, what if in the same month of March, I had Jennifer, Agnes, and Edward, and each of them had a total of 25 and above? If that happens, if I have up to 3 downlines, is credit. I am also considered leadership active. I'm also considered leadership active. Note that if you listen to my explanation carefully, these managers must be in different lines. So that's what leadership case credit. A manager who is not active in any operative company for 3 consecutive months loses eligibility to qualify for leadership bonus, even if she or he has no downline manager. Now, the leadership expectation is, like I have said, for managers and above. So my name is John. In the month of January, I did not do my leadership. In the month of February, I still did not do my leadership. Now, all of these months, I was 4 case credit active, but I did not do my 12cc. In March also, I ended up not doing my 12cc. This is 3 consecutive months. By April, as we enter April, I automatically lose my leadership eligibility. Meaning anything that any manager downline under me does, I don't earn from it anymore. That's what it means. For me to regain this eligibility now, I need to also begin my leadership for 3 consecutive months. Let's say in the month of May, I wake up and I say, I'm feeling bad that I have lost my leadership eligibility and I want to requalify. If I do my leadership in the month of May, I have done 1 month. If I do in the month of June, I have done 2 months. If I do in the month of July, I have done 3 consecutive months of leadership. Now, in the month of August, I become leadership eligible. I become leadership eligible. In the month of August, whatever I do now, I am leadership eligible. What it means is that although I was leadership active in May, I will not earn any leadership bonus. Although I was leadership active in June, I will not earn any leadership bonus. Although I was leadership active in July, I will still not earn any leadership. But by the 4th month, which is August now, if I'm leadership qualified, if I do my leadership, I will earn leadership bonus. That's what requalification for leadership means. Okay? Still on leadership. A manager who is not leadership bonus qualified in 12 consecutive months, remember that 3 consecutive months you lose eligibility. If you are not leadership active for 12 consecutive months, what happens is that you automatically lose all the managers that are in your downline. Anybody that is a manager under you is moved up to the immediate manager upline who is leadership eligible. Now, in the past, some persons are not leadership qualified for 1, 2 months, or some 11 months, you lose your eligibility. They was fine with by the 10th month and the 12th month and go and rest, you will still lose all your downline. The reason is because in the course of these 12 months, your challenge now is not just about losing your downlines. If you listen to what I explained in the previous slide, to regain your leadership eligibility means redoing your leadership for 3 consecutive months. So if somebody was not leadership qualified for, say, 11 consecutive months, and you don't want to lose your downline managers, by the 12th month, when you come and you do your leadership, the system will suspend removing your downline managers because the system sees you as trying to requalify your eligibility. You have not yet qualified, but the system sees you as trying to requalify your eligibility. So for that 12th month, the system will not remove your downline managers. If in the 13th month, you still do your leadership, the system will still not remove your downlines. If in the 14th month, you do your leadership, the system will still not remove them. Now you have done 3 consecutive months. The system now considers you leadership eligible and will leave your downlines for you for another 12 months, as the case may be, if you, for any reason, do not continue. But if after that, coming to do that 12th month, the system will not touch your downline managers. It will wait for the 13th month. If in the 13th month you don't do, your downline managers will go. Or if you do in the 13th month and in the 14th month you don't, your downline managers will also go. Because at this point now, you are not only trying to retain your downline managers, you are also regaining your eligibility. And a forfeited manager line will become an inherited manager to the first leadership eligible manager upline from his or her original sponsor. Many of you these days, you are receiving them in droves. Earlier on, I explained what pass-through case credit is, that it is case credit as reflected by the through an inactive manager to the first upline active manager. Although it's a case credit that came from a non-manager, it has passed through a manager already. So it cannot be considered part of your leadership, cannot be considered part of your open group. But of course, they count as part of your total. Now, what is total case credit? Total case credit is the total of all the FBO's various case credit, all the different case credit we have defined, whether it's pass through, whether it's leadership, whether it's personal, whether it's distributor or preferred customer, whether it's retail, all of them added together for the month is what is called your total case credit. That one is very important and strict. New case credit. These are another very understand. These days, when you want to qualify for global
Come back, sir.
Sorry for that break. Um, I was talking about new case credit, and I said that it is case credit. I said that it is case credit as reflected by the accredited sales of a recognized manager's personally sponsored line that were sponsored after he or she qualified as a recognized manager. So the first thing you need to know about new case credit is that it's case credit that came to you from somebody you signed up within a space of 12 months. So long as within that space of time, the person did not achieve the level of a manager. Let me use names to exemplify it for you. So my name is John. I signed Kelechi up in May last year as a preferred customer. From that May last year until April of this year, so long as Kelechi has not become a recognized manager, whatever activity she does under me counts as part of my new case credits. But let's say after signing her up in May last year, by December she became a manager. From June, July, October, November, up until before she became a manager, whatever she did counted for me as new case credit. But after that, no more. So it is the open group case credit as reflected by the accredited sales of a recognized manager's personally sponsored preferred customer or FBO's line that were sponsored after he or she qualified as recognized manager. Now, new case credit will be accumulated for 12 processing months, including the month in which the person was sponsored, or until the person achieves manager, whichever occurs first. If Kelechi becomes manager anytime before April this year, her case credit stops counting for me as new case credit. If she doesn't, until April this year, her case credit keep counting for me as new case credit, but not after that. That's what new case credit is. It's very important to understand this because if you're qualifying for global rally, if you're qualifying for chairman's bonus, if you are qualifying for ego manager, any of these premium incentives, new case credits will confront you as a requirement. We talked about preferred customer already. While trying to define what preferred customer profit is, I already defined for you who a preferred customer is. No need to spend time just to say that the preferred customer for the person to qualify for move up to the next level, which is assistant supervisor, the person has to generate at least 2 case credits in any 1 or 2 consecutive months. And these 2 case credit must be generated in only one operating country. Okay, let's go to some very important developments the 36 months policy. Since 2020, Forever came up with some additional policies to sanitize our system, one of which is the 12 months policy. That one concerns only manager. The 12 months policy concerns only manager. But the 36 months policy concerns not just manager. Any FBO who has not made any purchase for 36 consecutive calendar months will forfeit all sponsored downlines to his or her first upline FBO. Once again, I'm so sorry for. So that's what 36 months is about. 36 month policy says that anybody for that matter, if you do not do any activity for 36 consecutive months, all your downlines, whether they are managers or not, will be removed from under you. If the FBO has any first generation manager, so organization, this manager will be classified as inherited manager to the newly appointed sponsor. So that's about 36 months. Then we also have the 24 months policy. Now, this does not concern managers. An FBO who has not achieved any of the following during any consecutive 24 months period will reclassified as a preferred customer, retains their current discount level, and will forfeit all sponsored downlines to his or her first upline FBO. So these three requirements are: has not held the status of supervisor or higher for at least 1 month, has not sponsored at least one other FBO or preferred customer, and has not earned commission and or bonus. So these 24 months concern assistant supervisors. That person can reclassify, the preferred customer who was reclassified can opt into the marketing plan as FBO at any time and is reinstated to his or her pre-classification sales level. So this 24 months policy concerns assistant supervisors. Then the record retention. This one now excludes managers and above. If you are not a manager and above, and you are any other level, and you are not active on the system for 7 consecutive months, your name and ID will be deemed inactive, and your data on the system will either be removed or obfuscated. To be obfuscated means it may not completely be taken out of the system, but it will not be accessible by you any longer. It will not be accessible by you any longer. Now, that's where we want to leave the terms and definitions for this evening. If we have any very pertinent question, let's quickly take it. I understand that we need to bring this training to a close right now. So if you have any question, you will quickly ask. Let's just take 1 or 2 if there's any. I am hoping that you got value for, sorry about the few skirmishes here and there, but I'm hoping that you got value for this. Is there any question? Kehinde Adu, please ask your question. You can type it, or Casey, can you give her access to ask the question audibly? That's better. You can either type your question, or as you raise up your hand, we are giving access to ask your question. Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, so I have someone that just signed up this month, and the person she's done up
By
to,
this month, you mean March?
yes, this match. She's done up to over three cc, and they are still referring her as preferred customer.
Okay.
Why are they still referring her as preferred customer? Then secondly, my own active, as in my own personal CC, which I'm supposed to do for, I believe that the over 3 CC she's done, actually, how will I put that now? It's counting
Should
for
count
me.
as part of your
Yes,
4.
she'll count as part of my 4. Have
Is that what
done,
you're asking?
yes, have done over 1. But what I'm seeing here is over 3 something CC, and it's not referring, I've not seen it that have done 4. So why is that? I really want to know why that is. Why they put
Okay.
3 CC or
First of
something
all,
like that.
thank you. Thank you so much, Kehinde, for these questions. It's one of
Okay.
two things. It's either you joined the call a bit late, or
Okay.
I have
Yes, I
not done
did.
a good
Yes.
job of
No,
this
I
training.
joined late. I
Mm.
joined late. Yeah.
Because we took. Okay, okay. Now, this person you signed up this month, the first question is a system thing. It's
Yeah.
until we shut down the system that the person's status will change on the system. Even though if you try making any purchase now, it's no longer at the new distributor price, it's now at wholesale. But the
Oh,
person's
okay.
status on
Okay.
the system will not change until we shut down for the month.
Oh,
Until we
okay.
shut down for
Okay.
the month. Now that's your first question. The second one,
Yeah.
we have explained that what you can get from one downline as part of your active case credit is a maximum of 2. So
Oh,
you
okay.
sign the person up this month. The first 2
Yeah.
case credit the person did is preferred customer or distributor case credit. That's what counts as part of your active. The
Oh, okay.
rest just adds to your volume. So out of the
Okay.
3 or 3 point something the person did, only 2 is going to count for you as active.
Oh, okay.
The 3 will
Okay.
not count. You can't get more than 2 from one person for your active case credit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's
Okay.
because you get active case credit from preferred customer. And the point
Oh,
where somebody achieves 2 case credit, the person ceases to be a preferred customer.
okay. Okay.
Is it clear enough?
So what you're saying now is I still have to do 1 to make it
Yes.
4.
What it means is
Okay.
that you are not yet active.
Okay.
Calculate 2 from that person, add to what
Okay.
you have done in your own ID. Whatever is
Okay.
left to achieve 4 is what you
We'll
need to
have
do to
to.
before CC
All
and D.
right.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you so
Mm,
much. Thank you.
okay. All right.
All right. Maybe one more question if there's any. Okay, someone said, thank you, sir. Please, you said something about 24 months policy. I say that if you are an assistant supervisor and you have not signed up anybody, you have not made any purchase, and you have not moved up to the level of the next level, which is level of a supervisor and above, after 24 consecutive months, you will be brought back to the level of a preferred customer. The implication is that anybody you have in your downline will be removed. You will still be buying at wholesale, quite all right, but the company does not see you as an FBO. In our new policy, there is a difference between assistant supervisor, just being an assistant supervisor who wants to purchase at 30% discount, and being an FBO. The system sees you as somebody who is not interested in doing business. You're not interested in building business. You are just interested in the discount. So it will remove all your downline. But that's exclusive to assistant supervisors. That's what I said about 24 months. I want to sincerely thank every one of you that I want to thank every one of you that joined the call this evening. Two quick things that I need to say is that um, everybody who has not done their 4K credit should quickly try and jump at it and do it before the month closes. The same thing with those who have not done their leadership. And please, if you join this call and you joined late, just like Kehinde just did now, I'm happy that she asked the question. If you joined late and there's any question you need to ask, please feel very free to reach out to us and ask. We are willing and very happy to answer all your questions. Let this 2026 be a year where we are knowledgeable, because for us to 2x our business, we have to also 2x our knowledge of the marketing plan and policy. Thank you so much, and please do have a beautiful evening.